Saturday, November 5th here at the West End Gun Club, out here at the rimfire range this morning. Started off with some work with the 1022, just sort of just confirming a few zeros, and then I started messing around with the Vudoo to try to address the Center-X again. And here's a box of the current lot that I got from the the Performance Center, the Lapua, or the Capstone Rimfire Performance Center. I got a case of this stuff, and if you've been watching my latest vlogs, you know that I've been having issues with this lot. So I shot 10 rounds of that stuff this morning, but I went ahead and brought some other Center-X that I had left over from random purchases. And these are known good lots that I've had good luck with, that I just, didn't lot test, but I bought them, blindly from the vendors or retailers, and they shot well. And I shot these today this morning, and they also shot well compared to this current lot of Center-X that I have. So I know it's not my gun. It's strictly the ammo. And I've got some crazy groups with the lot that I'm having issues with. From not too terrible to really terrible. And so we'll go ahead and take a look at the targets, and I'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. But once, now that I've gauged that, hey, it's not my gun, I know for a fact it's this specific lot of Center-X, we're going to go ahead and try out this tuner. So I've got this EC tuner from Cortina Precision. I do have another tuner, which I haven't really messed with too much. That's the KSS tuner. But I saw somebody mention the Cortina Precision EC tuner, and I didn't like their designs that I saw originally, but I think they just recently came out with the V2, which is a spring-loaded design. And they ship it in this pill container for I guess it's a kind of little thing there, but it's a spring-loaded design. So you put the thread adapter onto your gun, and then your barrel, and then this is spring-loaded, and you put this the tuner weight itself on top of that spring and threads on. And so I like this design. You don't have set screws. It's got a nice graduated scale here, and so we'll try this out, and we'll see if we can tune out this ammo. I'm not really, I bought that other tuner before, and with the context that I'm not really a fan of tuners. Well, I haven't been. I never really considered them. But given what I'm seeing here with this ammo, I really want to see if a tuner will help me get this ammo to shoot, since I have a case of this stuff for a little bit less than a case. But let's go ahead and get this thing tightened up or threaded on, and we'll see if we can get some results with the Center-X, this bad lot of Center-X, and this tuner. Here's a close-up view of the targets from this morning. We started off today right about here. So actually these were with the 1022. Actually the older lot of semi-auto bench rest is shooting better than the new lot. This is kind of a weird string here, but I tightened it up. This is the 1022 right here for semi-automatic Ely bench rest ammo, which is not bad. These are actually better with the older lot, which shoots a little bit faster, but this is still pretty good for the 1022, so I'm accepting this. But today, the heart of what I was trying to do was still take a look at the Center-X in my Vudoo. So here's the current lot, which is kind of the bad lot. This is a warm-up string on a clean barrel. It's kind of, you got some flyers here. And then I went to an older lot of Center-X, which this is a 5-round string, which is not bad. Then I think this is a 10-round string with that Center-X. Then I shot an even older lot of Center-X, which is here, and this is a 10-round string, which shot pretty good. Then I went back to the current lot, which is the bad lot, and I shot this one, which is not too bad. Granted, these pacers aren't that great to gauge groups, but you do have these two flyers here, which is not too bad. This one, same thing with the current lot, which is what I call the bad lot. Have the flyer here. Then I shot another 10-round string, and this is where you can see it really get bad. I don't know what happened here. The wind conditions aren't terrible, but this is incredibly large. It's like a 2-inch group here, 1.5-inch group, and with these flyers here. So after I shot this 10-round string with that bad Lot of Center-X or whatever, I shot the really old Lot of Center-X that I knew. And this is a 10-round string, which you can see the difference here. It's incredible. So we're going to go ahead and try out that tuner, and we'll see how that goes on this test target. Like an idiot, I didn't bring enough ammo for this tuner testing. I thought I had my box full of that Lapua Center-X ammo that I'm having issues with. So it's not really a great test this morning. However, I shot 3-round groups because that's what you're supposed to. I was under the assumption you're supposed to do that from some of the tuner testing I've seen on YouTube. This is at the 0 setting. At 5, I'm aiming at the black dots, so there's a huge shift to the left with this tuner on. So 0, 5 setting, 10. I shot 10 again, but look at this, how it shot way better. I accidentally kept it on 10, and this is 10 before, 10 after, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, going up in 5 increments, 40, 45, 50. And at this point, I realized I was running out of ammo, so I shot 15 again, thinking that, hey, this might be a sweet spot. But I got a flyer here, so I tried 13 to come in between, and it opened up, shot 15 again, and it's not really there. Shot 15 again, it's not really there. So I don't know what's up with this. I may try 40, 45. However, I mean, you're getting this flyer here. That's 2 shots in one. Get some up and down stringing on 45, 35, seems there's up and down stringing. So maybe this might be a sweet spot here for me on this ammo. The up and down stringing I can accept, given, you know, that's just bad bag behavior, and I could try to, at the 35, 40, 45 settings, maybe shoot 5-round groups. But right now, I'm not feeling this, if this tuner is actually going to help with the randomness of this ammo. I believe this is a 1 centimeter grid. I found this off of, I think this is off the KSS website where they had this PDF. And assuming it printed out correctly off my printer to scale, like 100% as is on the PDF, it should be a 10 millimeter grid. So yeah, this looked really good actually, but I mean, I tried to repeat 15 here, and you got a kickoff here, and then 13 opened up, and 15 again, you're getting side to side. So I don't know. Maybe it's helping, maybe it's not. So I'm gonna have to come out again with more ammo someday and try to repeat some of this. I'll save this target, or I'll just look at this video as reference. I'll try 10 to 15 again, but then I'll try 40 and 45. But I still have another revolution or so down, so I can keep going to see if the tuner gets better finds a node as I keep turning forward, but past the, I don't want to say it's 50, I think it's just 0. It's not 50, but actually 0. Either way, I can keep going back. I mean, I should have 2 full turns or so, and maybe there's another node down beneath, but I'm gonna say there's probably not, and these should have been good nodes if I can repeat them, but again, 3-shot groups,
may not be good enough, right? That should be good enough to at least find potential, because obviously this is a 3-shot grouper. No way you're going to go off of that. No way you're going to go off of this. So, or that. So we'll focus on those 3-shot groups that might have potential and shoot 5-round and 10-round groups. And if it still has a wide dispersion, like aim my camera up. Sorry, we're gonna actually probably easier if I just take the camera off the tripod here. Sorry guys for the shaky cam here. Go to here, but I mean, if we get like something like this, which is not great but not bad, but just see how this opens up here. If I mean, if I can get this, that'd be great. But obviously this is a terrible 10-shot string right here. That's literally, this is right here what you're seeing on camera here. That's a 10-round string, even these 3 off of the paster. That's terrible. And if the tuner can shrink it down and keep it consistent within, I guess maybe it's gonna be beneficial if it can keep it from going from here to here, because this is all that bad ammo. How it goes from this to this in a variation of 30 shots is just unbelievable. So, I don't know. We'll keep cracking at it. I mean, I got nothing to lose here except my time, but we'll try it out at a future date. We'll bring more ammo out. I'll try to bring 150 rounds at least, and we'll see if we can tune this out a little bit more. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some work here. I'm gonna try to work on this tank trap a little. I forgot the bit that I needed to bore a hole in this 4x4, but we'll try to make it work. Here's a close-up of the EC Tuner version 2. You can see here it's got some nice graduations here. I got the black nitrided version. They put some hash marks on the thread adapter that goes onto the barrel, and then it's used to reference the tuner weight itself, which is on top of that. And I think they put 4 on the 90 degrees. So you got a D on this side, A, B, C, and D. And I'm going off of D because the way it works is once it's flush with once the outer weight is actually flush with the thread adapter up front, that's kind of where you should set your 0. And it's coincidentally, it's right at where 0 and D meet. So I'm going to use this as my reference point. So now that I'm flush, that's the 0 point. But I'm going to go ahead and take it off though, just so you see what it is, because there's no set screws. The KSS, I think it's called ATS tuner, has set screws. So once you set it, you have to tighten the set screws so it doesn't move. And there's a spring underneath this deal, and you'll see it right here. So this is spring right here. They already put anti-seize there on the threads because you're putting pressure on. There's threads on the inside of this weight, and basically the spring is keeping the weight from moving, but it's putting pressure against those threads. So you got thread on thread sort of pressure, so that's kind of why you need the anti-seize. But anyway, so you can see this is spring here, and that's basically what is used to tension up keep this weight in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to thread it on here without munging up the threads here. Just make sure. There you go. So once you're on there, keep kind of thread it on until it's flush with the front, which it's right about, right there. So it's flush right about there. So that's a good 0 point right there. Anyway, that's it for the EC Tuner V2. Interesting design. It's kind of cool. And but I'm not entirely sure if it's actually going to help me with this Lapua Center-X lot that I have. But again, I should have brought more ammo, but we'll try it again at a later date. And coincidentally, the wind died down too, which is nice. But sometimes you just forget stuff when you get to the range. While I have the 1022 set up here, I wanted to go ahead and just give some updates on the rifle itself. It's shooting pretty well, but things have changed in the past several months, and recently too, in terms of what I have on this gun. The core of the gun has been pretty much the same. Past 15 years, it's the OEM Ruger Action, OEM Ruger Bolt, Volt Quartz, and 20-inch barrel. I had a stock trigger at the time, and then I had it in this Bell & Carlson stock I replaced that with a KRG Bravo since the Bell & Carlson stock was more of a bench rest stock as a flat form with no attachments or ways to put a bipod on there unless I machine something there. And I figured, why not just get a new stock? Because that one's just more for bench rest. So I put it in the KRG Bravo 1022 chassis with an Arca rail. Been running that for the most part. And I decided, if I'm going to try this in NRL 22 matches as a backup gun, I'm going to need a new trigger. So I did put a Kid single stage trigger here. It's it's set to 1.5 roughly, and 1.5 pounds. So I have a Kid single stage here. And then I had the bolt modified for, the bolt is an OEM bolt, but I had another OEM bolt sitting around, and I sent that off to CPC, which is, I can't remember what it stands for. It's Connecticut Precision something or other, or Connecticut Precision Customs. Anyway, they're on Connecticut. CPC does work on 1022s, but you can send them a factory bolt and they can kind of tune it up in terms of squaring off the bolt face, grinding it to a specific headspace, which is more consistent. And I had them put on a new extractor for me because that bolt was strictly stock. The bolt that I was running prior to that for the past 15 years was an OEM bolt with a Volquartz extractor, which worked great. But I figured if they're gonna rework the bolt for me, just have them put a new extractor on that other bolt. So I swapped those bolts out last week or 2 weeks ago. It shoots the same in terms of, I think, accuracy inherently. So there was no real gains there, but no real losses. And so it is what it is. But that's kind of all for the updates here. And one minor tweak though I did with the KRG Bravo. So I did get the toolless length of pull adjustment, which I have here. However, it only comes with this flat plastic butt plate, and it's very slick, and I hated it. I hate how it just slips off your shoulder. So I found out that KRG sells a rubber butt pad that will fit the KRG Bravo 1022 stock. However, they sell it as also part of a length of pull kit, so I bought that kit instead. And I pretty much kept the toolless length of pull mechanism, but I put the rubber butt pad that came with the other length of pull system onto this. And so now I have an adjustable length of pull, but at bare minimum it's set to about 12.5 inches. And that's about good for me. I can probably go a little bit more for the way this gun is set up, maybe to like a 12 3/4, even 13 inches, but the toolless length of pull will let me do that. But the key thing is I just wanted this rubber textured butt pad because it just won't slip, especially when you have like a kind of a windbreaker style material for your jacket or whatever. It won't slip off. So that's what I like here. My one complaint about the toolless length of pull on the KRG chassis for the 1022 is it's not very tight. If you get it to a point here and you tighten it up and then you hit it, it can actually it's not enough friction, tension to hold it in place. So it can actually move on you. And that's why it says it's actually not recommended for center fire. What I did for the match when I ran this on the last match is I got some spacers. They're hollow spacers from Ace Hardware that'll fit over the posts, and I had them cut. I ground them down or whatever and to a specific, to where it would be the correct length of pull, and I wedged them in there and I just tightened it down there. So even if it does slip, the spacers around the posts would keep it from compressing because they were just steel. So if you're going to use this toolless length of pull, I highly recommend you get some shims or spacers that fit around this diameter here. I think it's 3/8, maybe, not 1/4 inch. Could be 3/8. Anyway, just 3/8 inch spacers, and even get washers or something. You can stack them. So if you find a point, if you're using the toolless length of pull mechanism, such that you're going to have a gap here, then you can put shims and spacers in there so that if it does happen to just like get hit, it won't collapse in, right? It'll have those shims around that post to keep them from going. And it'll still be adjustable in terms of you can just take out some spacers if you need to bring it back down. Anyway, that's it for the 1022. A lot of updates here, but I'm really liking this gun in terms of it's pretty good in terms of semi-auto accuracy. It's not great. I mean, bolt action is still better, but I do like running this gun. It is fun as long as your mags work. As long as your mags work, you don't have malfunctions, and I think a 1022 is very competitive in our all-22. And as far as the scope though, this is still kind of like my floater scope. I do like having a Z-comp on this 1022, but I don't know it will stay on here because once I build some other projects I'm going, then this is gonna have to come off. But really do like having a Z-comp on top of this 1022. I would like the 420 though, the Z-comp 420. This is the 5-27, but I think the 420 would be nice in terms of it's a smaller form factor. It's a 50 millimeter objective, although still a 36 millimeter tube. Slightly smaller, and a little bit lighter, but it would be a nice fit for this gun. So I'm actually pondering the Z-comp 420, but for another project. But if I do get the Z-comp 420, I'll run it on here because that project is nowhere near being complete. So it'd be nice to just get that scope first so I can run it on here and then play around with it and then feel bad when I have to move it to the other project and this won't have a Z-comp on it. But anyway, I really like Z-comp optics, really good scopes. About to get out of here, but today I again reaffirmed the fact that my Vudoo 22 is fine. It's not the gun. It's not Center-X, it's just that lot of Center-X that I thought was good when I got it tested, and I selected that lot based off of the tunnel testing that was supposed to be good ammo. Apparently that lot just isn't good ammo for my gun. I shot older lots of Center-X that I bought just randomly from other vendors before I went to Capstone to get my gun tested, and I knew that ammo shot fine, and I shot it today, and that ammo shoots fine now. I mean, 10 shot strings confirmed, half inch or better at 50 yards, so you're well under, holding a minute of angle at least in windy conditions. But the old lot can kind of shoot decent, but then sporadically randomly throw out wide groups, just insanely wide groups. And then the tuner, while I like the EC tuner V2, the design is pretty cool. I wasn't able to really test whether or not the tuner is helping me with that Lot of Lapua Center-X because I didn't bring enough ammo. But I kind of know where the node is based off of the test target I shot today. So I'm going to try to reaffirm those nodes and keep going down further on the tuner by bringing it in, because the tuner is supposed to thread in towards the gun and it floats over the barrel. So we'll see how that goes. I'll come out some other time, hopefully on a day when it's less windy. It's not windy anymore. It was windier earlier this morning, but then it kind of just died down. However, it would help if I had more ammo with me. So I'll make note to make sure to refill my box with my range box with more of that Lapua ammo. Anyway, that's it for today. Got a headache. I had a headache yesterday actually, and it's gotten a little bit worse today. It usually just starts with kind of like neck pain, shoulder pain, and it just goes behind my head, and it's irritating. But probably gonna take some Advil when I get home or something. But I was gonna stop by and probably get a new Apple TV. I think the new one dropped today, or yesterday rather. So I was gonna get a new Apple TV so I can put my old one on my other TV, so I can have two Apple TVs, and just because I use Apple TV to watch YouTube on a TV screen and stream other things like Netflix and HBO Max, and all those other things. So I like my Apple TV, so I'm gonna get the new one, assuming they have it over here at the local store on the way home. Anyway, that's it for today, November 5th, here at the West End. Is it the 5th? Yes, the 5th. Here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.